Okay, we'll open it up for questions of Jake Bentley. Right here in the front. Here we go.
Hey, Jake.
Rick Henry, WSTV, Columbia, South Carolina. Hey, Jake. Coach Muschamp was telling us the importance of cutting down on turnovers. Tell us what you've been doing after the spring and the off season. How confident are you that the number of turnovers will go down?
I mean, that's something that we talked about immediately after the season, looking, kind of a postseason meeting with Coach Muschamp, and what he expects moving forward, and that was the main thing. I mean, that's the main thing. Winning football games, we got to stop turning the ball over. I do, and especially down there in the red zone. So, really getting back in the film room, dissecting what happened, what I was thinking, and then just learning from it. And I know that's something simple to say, but really just taking that to the field in the spring, really cut down on it during spring practice, and just really feeling good.
Right here to your
David Cloninger with the Post-Courier. Jake, Will said that he thinks this is easily his best team at South Carolina. You've been a 4-year guy. What makes this the best team that he's had?
Well, I mean, I think it's the first class where it's all Coach Muschamp and our coaching staff recruited guys. And it's guys that are bought in fully to what we want to do as a team. And just a lot of guys that are just extremely confident because a lot of seniors have played, 2 or 3 years now. And so just there's a lot of guys with a lot of experience, and there's a lot of confidence.
Okay, to your left here, third row.
Jake, from your senior year at Opelika High School to now you're going into your senior year at South Carolina, where have you seen yourself grow the most here in the game of football?
I think just maturity. I think whether that be I remember back freshman year we're down 20-7 to Florida, and I was just kind of on the bench, just kind of moping. I wasn't playing good. Just kind of sitting there like, man, poor me, I'm not playing good. But now I just feel like, senior year, it's my job to get us back going. I mean, I got to go down the line, get the guys fired up, get ready to go. So just maturity in that way, maturity on the field, just everything's slowing down. You go from Opelika to South Carolina, everything speeds up, but then it starts to slow down again once you just get more reps at it.
Okay, to your right, front row.
Jake, when you look across the league, I mean, there's a lot of experienced and returning quarterbacks. So how would you rate the level of play at the quarterback position in the SEC?
Yeah, man, I think it's at a point where I don't know if many times before it's been at this level. I think there's a lot of guys that can play really good football, and I think that's what makes our league so special. Is that each and every week you gotta bring your A game. Because if a quarterback gets hot, they can tear anyone up, and it's just really special to be part of this fraternity of brothers that of SEC quarterbacks that are really really good dudes and really good quarterbacks.
Okay, front row again to your right.
Jake, Dave Hooker, Saturday Down South. How would you describe the perfect way to respond to a mistake, a turnover? What's the perfect way to respond to that, both emotionally and mentally?
Well, I'll take you through it. Okay, interception happens. Quarterback, if it was your fault or not, or it was tipped or something. So if it was tipped by the receiver, I immediately go to the receiver. Hey, man, I got to throw it better. Put it on me. There's no reason to put him on a receiver and have him have a bad game the whole rest of the game. Put it on me, jog off the field, make sure that nobody on offense thinks you're defeated. If your team thinks you're defeated, then it's going to affect everything. So you got to jog off the field, let them know that you're still in this. You're still going to battle. And then just regroup. Go back and think about what happened. Could it have been avoided? Could it not have? And then just inspire the team to get back to go again. I mean, say it happens in our first quarter. There's 3 more quarters to play. There's a lot of football left to be played. So just learning from that. And that's one thing that I've learned talking about maturity, going back from freshman year, just getting better at that.
Up on the camera bank, right there.
Jake, how are you approaching the game mentally this year, or at least approaching the change and mentally how you approach the big game? I know you want to have better performances and, matchups like Georgia and Clemson, I guess. In your senior year, I guess, how do you approach it so you kind of show up more and close the big game?
Well, that's one thing I think that I've learned the most is there's no reason to think you have to show up in big games. You should show up for North Carolina and Charleston Southern, just like we'll show up at Bama game, and through the rest of the season. You shouldn't change, and that's one thing that I've heard from guys that, you know, about Tom Brady, and what makes him so great is when everyone else in the fourth quarter tightens up and thinks, I think I make a play, he stays consistent. And that's just who he is, and that's something that I want to implement in my game. It's just to stay consistent, no matter if we're, you know, playing my little brother's ninth grade team or, you know, we're playing North Carolina first game, is to come out with the same intensity.
To your right, over here, standing up.
Jake, going into your senior season in what is widely regarded as one of the toughest conferences in the country, you also played high school football at one of the toughest places to play in East Alabama there. Is there anything you still take with you from what you learned at Opelika High School playing Central and Auburn that you take with you even going into your senior year of college?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the mindset just to go compete each and every day. You know, in high school, knowing that we had to go against, like you said, Phoenix City and Auburn, and, you know, it goes back to even summer workouts, knowing that they're coming up. So you got to work hard. You got to compete in the weight room just because you know they are. And just like in the SEC, we got to you know, we're competing against every team in the weight room during the summer, just like we do on the field. So it's very similar aspect of playing in a really good high school league and then playing in the SEC as far as
Stay up on
competing.
the camera bank on the left.
So Jake, Mike Yuba, Watch Fox, Columbia, South Carolina. Just as a leader, how do you go about knowing that you have some freshman quarterbacks? They want to be you one day. They want to compete. You've gone through that process 4 years ago. But being the guy that they can look up to and lead by example, but at the same time knowing that it's a friendly competition.
I mean, yeah, I'm really trying to just pour all I can into them, you know, and I don't want to leave Carolina thinking that I could have told them something that will help them down the line. And, I mean, that's what guys did with me, you know, Perry Worth, you know, Hayden Hurst, you know, guys that just poured themselves into me and gave me all the knowledge that they had. And that's really what I want to do for, you know, Ryan and to carry on there. Just give all I can to them to help them and, you know, just encourage them along the way.
In the middle, camera.
Jake, 9 years ago, Alabama came to Columbia. I know you know what happened that day when they came there. Steven Garcia went nuts. Looking back at that game, when you watch that game and hear about that game, are you inspired by what happened that day? And what do you think about the opportunity for yourself to kind of, you know, make that part of your legacy as well?
Yeah. You know, it was a great game, you know, by that team, but that was that team. And so you know, people keep saying that, and not that it makes me mad or anything, but it's kind of like that's that team, and that's in the past, and we're in, you know, 2019 now, so we're going to have to find a way for us. But right now we're focused on North Carolina and what we can do to prepare for them, and just give all our energy and effort to focus in on UNC.
To your right, front row on the end.
You talked about how it's a little different this year being a senior and how it's your job now to get your team back on. And so is there anything that you did differently this off season to maybe prepare for those big steps that you need to take to lead your team to a successful season?
Yeah. You know, me and Coach McClendon and a lot of offensive guys, we have a leadership meeting every week. And Coach McClendon has just done a fantastic job of that. And one example that he gave us the other day, he had a picture of every single car part in the picture. So they took everything apart and had them all laid out. And, you know, he was like, this, you know, couple grand engine ain't going to run without the $200 battery. And it definitely ain't going to run without the, you know, $7 transfer wire that has to be in there too. So that just really hit me that everything's important. And whether it's, you know, Brian Edwards being a battery or, you know, a third string lineman being the transfer wire. I mean, it's everything's important. The car's not going to run without that $7 wire, just like we can't be the best offense we can be without that third string lineman doing the best he can. So that's just one thing that I've really picked up on, going to implement it during the season.
Front row down here to your left.
Jeff Owens, Spurs and Feathers. Jake, you're in position to probably break a lot of school records this year and sort of cement your legacy. Do you think about that? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that's, you know, special to me. I think it'll be more special after the season. But, you know, growing up in South Carolina and coming to games and seeing the names on the, you know, the walkways up there, just, you know, something you always dream about as a kid. And to have the opportunity is special, but there's, you know, there's so many people that have helped me get there. And that's one thing about records that people don't see is the amount of people that help the people that break the records get there. And whether that for me be my offensive line, receivers, you know, everything. Just it's really going to be a testament to everyone if we can do it together.
Standing to your right.
Guess Jake, following up with DeCarrion and Ryan, just is this the deepest quarterback room you've had in your career at South Carolina, and how does that kind of build what you're I'm looking for the right word, but just how you can get better too with those guys kind of pushing behind you?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they're very talented. So was Scar and Perry and Brandon when they were here too. So, just they're two guys that are just hungry to play and hungry to just be great. And it's two guys that really love football. You can just tell that when you talk to them. But yeah, I mean, they push me every day, just like I'm gonna try to push them to be the best they can be, and that's what teammates are all about, and that's what a team's about.
Right here in the front row again.
Josh Hyber, Spurs and Feathers. Jake, obviously Brian Edwards has been a go-to receiver for you for the last few years. What have you seen from him summer workouts that you think he's ready to take that next step and take the torch from Diva? Yeah, man, I think Brian's. I think he's the most underrated receiver in the nation. I mean, he's just he's a workhorse one. I mean, you never see him not working on some part of his game at the facility at all times. And I've really been proud of Brian, the way he's poured himself into the younger receivers. And that's something that I think he's worked on and he's learned from or learned to do is to really give back to them, because he knows we're only going to be as good as the rest of the guys too. I mean, me and Brian can't do it ourselves. I mean, Josh Van, Shai Smith, or Trey Smith, they're going to have big years too. And I think he understands that and doing whatever he can to help them along the way as well.
Second row here in the middle.
Hey, Jake, Ben Brenner from the State. First of all, is it weird at all being at SEC Media Days for the third time? And what is the one thing you've improved most on as an SEC Media Days attendee?
Oh, man. I mean, I guess I'm more relaxed now. The first year, it felt like a bunch of piranhas, cameras. But this year, just relaxed and knowing that, how special our team's going to be. And just really here to have a good time. Had to spice it up with a shoe game this year. But I was trying to teach Brian and TJ how it's going to be today. But it's a very fun experience, and I'm glad to be here.
Back here in the camera bank, and just.
Jake, for the past 2 seasons, it's pretty much been Georgia, Alabama, and everybody else. What is it about your game and about the Gamecocks heading into this season that could give South Carolina a shot at the SEC title?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at it, we got guys that have played 2 and 3 years, like I've said, and being guys that have been faced with just about every situation you can be faced with on a football field, and whether that's getting blown out, blowing team out, being in a close game and winning it, being in a close game and losing it. I think there's a lot of situations that we've been faced with, and we know now how to respond to it, and just really confident because of that.
We have time for 2 questions. We'll go here first, and we'll finish right here.
You really emphasize the importance of every role on the team. Is there anyone that really sticks out to you behind the scenes that's from last year that's really stepped up into that leadership role?
I think when you look at it, I think Cedarius Hutcherson, being our left tackle, is a guy that doesn't really talk much, a guy that's kind of to himself, kind of just, I'm going to do my own thing type, not like disrespectful, but, just kind of one of those guys that just does his own thing. But he's really, similar to Brian and, really tried to help Dylan out as much as he could, and just really became, more personable and really stepping into a leadership role very well.
Okay, final question.
Jake, Will constantly reminds us that one of the reasons you're the starting quarterback is because you give the team the best chance to win. And you were talking about the backup quarterbacks a little while ago. Let's just say, I hope it doesn't happen, but if there's an injury that you suffer that keeps you out for a game like last year, is there one of those guys that could go in and at least give the team a chance to win? They may not be the best chance to win, but they would give the team a chance to win.
I think they both equally give the team the best chance to win. No, seriously, though, they're 2 great quarterbacks. They're different, I mean, for sure, but I think both of them have great ability, and it's going to be really special to see them progress moving forward.
Jake, thank you very much. Good job.
Thank you.